Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something that trips up so many professionals. When does doing the work actually get in the way of leading it? We're diving into that massive mindset shift from being a practitioner to becoming a manager. In the security world, it really comes down to two kinds of people, the ones who do the work and the ones who manage the work. So if you've ever felt caught between the keyboard and the boardroom, this one's for you. We're going to break down the thinking that separates the doers from the deciders. At its core, it all boils down to two totally different ways of thinking. First, you've got the practitioner. They're the hands-on expert, the one who builds and fixes things. And then you've got the manager, who's really focused on guiding the overall strategy. So, take a second and think, which one are you really? Let's dig into these mindsets and you can see where you stand right now. Okay. So the biggest, and I mean the biggest, difference between these two roles comes down to the kind of questions they're always asking. A practitioner's world is all about the technical how, but a manager, they have to start with the business why. And trust me, that shift is way harder than it sounds, because you're moving from the comfort of having a clear task to the much fuzzier world of strategic goals. The practitioner is deep in the trenches, right? They're the technical experts with their hands on the keyboard, figuring out how to get things done, step by step. But the manager, they're like a bridge or maybe a translator. They are constantly connecting that technical work back to what the business actually cares about. Their job is to keep asking, does this thing we're doing actually help the company win?
And this difference in questioning, well, it leads directly to a massive difference in who's on the hook for what.
Let's break it down like this. Execution is just doing the task. That's the practitioner's world. But accountability, that's owning the final result. The practitioner does the work, but the manager has to answer for whether it was a success or a failure. And here's what's so critical to understand. A manager's real value isn't that they can configure the server themselves. It's that they can make sure the right person is doing it for the right reasons. I mean, just think about it. If a huge data breach happens, it's not the person who pushed the button who has to go explain it to the leadership team. It's the manager. They own the outcome, period. There's a perfect saying for this. You can delegate work, but not responsibility. That just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The buck stops with them. All right, so let's make this real. How does this whole mindset shift actually look when it's time to make a decision?
So imagine you walk into a room packed with tech experts, and you ask them this one simple question.
You're almost guaranteed to get answers that are all about the technical details, right? Speed, power, performance. From a purely technical how-to point of view, these answers are totally fine. But they're missing the entire point of the question. Because a real manager is going to give you a totally different answer. It's not about a product, it's a principle. They'll say the best firewall is the one that actually fits what the business needs. It's all about context, not just horsepower. A manager knows that real value comes from fitting the solution to the business. The best tool is simply the right tool for that specific job. Anything else is just a waste of money. So when we pull this all together, what's the big takeaway from this whole shift in perspective? Making that leap to manager means you are fundamentally changing your focus. You're going from how to why, from just implementing things to making actual business decisions, from execution to accountability, and from getting lost in technical specs to creating real business value. You're shifting from the machine to the mission. And this final idea, it really gets to the soul of what it means to be a manager. Your job isn't just about security for security's sake. It's about managing risks so the business can thrive. And that really leaves you with a powerful question for your own career. Are you building walls or are you building bridges?